Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in Prosper, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. We've seen a lot of growth in the last couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that by the end of April, we will get to 13,000 plant foldies. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie. I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, and you can see that it is a beautiful morning out in Prosper, Texas. But before we get into the shopping, plant foldies, have you ever heard of this new soil called Classy Rabbit, which is from a local small business out in McKinney, Texas? Really excited to share with you this new soil, which is 100% organic. What I love about it is that this is a standalone type soil. You don't have to mix orchid bark or other amendatives that actually make this soil chunky. It is already chunky, light, and fast draining. You can use it to improve your existing soil. What I also like about it is they are made by farmers, so they don't really consult like soil scientists or whatever that means. They really know what Mother Nature has in the soil, and what I like about it is I've been able to pot up a lot of my plants from overseas, and they have really acclimated to this soil. I love the fact that, again, it is 100% organic, and the ingredients that we have would be rabbit manure, composed food waste, pine bark chips, mycorrhizae, dried molasses, pumice, and expanded shale, rice hulls, and yucca extract. So all of those ingredients really make this soil. It is balanced, and what I love about it is Classy Rabbit products are simple where it counts, smart where they matter. So that means all of the ingredients that the soil needs, it's right there. They don't need to add anything else, and they don't offer anything that they don't need. I also love the fact that Classy Rabbit is priced well, where it's a happy medium between the low prices of cheap, and when I say cheap, quality, and the high prices of unnecessary ingredients. It kind of balances it both. And if you see right here, I potted this aglaonema up in a terracotta planter. You can see how fast draining it is as I put a bunch of water into the soil. You can see that it is literally just draining through, but just because it's fast draining, it doesn't mean that it doesn't retain moisture. It definitely does. But I love the fact that I don't have to worry about adding any perlite, because this particular soil doesn't have perlite. It has all natural ingredients. So for those that have never heard about Classy Rabbit, please go to classyrabbit.com. I highly endorse this soil. I love it so much. And even though I've been doing semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuza Pond and Leca, I've actually been converting all of my plants back to soil because of this particular soil. They do offer free shipping at classyrabbit.com. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested, and hopefully you will support Classy Rabbit. I mean, have you pooped on your plants lately? I would. Lastly, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast show that I am part of with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants. We do new episodes every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can see right over here, I am just walking through now this particular Lowe's. And we're going to dive into a couple of the indoor tropical plants, but also spend a little bit of time on the outdoor plants. It is about to be spring 2025, and I've been wanting to highlight a lot of the new outdoor gardening plants. I love indoor tropical plants, but I also want to highlight that. But before we get into that, I did want to show you all of the bromeliads again, and just all of the plants that they have available. Like this one right here is beautiful. This one is another Costa Farms plant right here, and you can see that there there are many different varieties of bromeliads. If you're ever going to go to a big box store and go plant shopping, you already know you're going to run into a bromeliad. What makes bromeliad special is because they have many different varieties. They've got different types of leaf structures and colors. I prefer the more colorful pink ones, but you can see even over here, this one has some beautiful structure, and I really love that green and that yellowish stripe across the leaves. What a beautiful specimen. And again, with all of these plants, the majority of them that you will see at Lowe's will be mostly from Costa Farms. So we're just going to keep taking a look at all of these plants. Now this one is for $18.98. I do love the planter. It's very modern, very minimalistic. And as I've stated in a lot of my plant shopping videos, I prefer the more minimalistic planters. I just find that minimalist approach for the planters really highlights the actual plant. But that's just really my own personal preference. And you can even see right over here, we've got a beautiful bromeliad in a crate. So this substrate is actually sphagnum moss, and you can see that Lowe's has a lot of these crate type hanging baskets as well, which I really like the diversity of plants that they have. And I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you what they have over here. Let me know in the comment section what plants you are finding at big box stores. I do love that engagement, and I would really appreciate that also in the comment section. And I'll be picking up a couple of these self-watering planters by Costa Farms. This one is for $15.98. You can see how beautiful this Dieffenbachia is. And when you look closely at the Dieffenbachia, you can see that it does have some offshoots. So their growth pattern is very similar to aglaonema. And if you are a plant foldie, or if you consider yourself a super plant foldie, you already know that aglaonemas are my favorite plant to collect. The thing about it is aglaonema are a lot easier to take care of than Dieffenbachia. Dieffenbachia require a lot more bright indirect light. They definitely need more consistency in the watering. And in terms of humidity levels, they prefer higher humidity levels. Now, this is a plant that in Southeast Asia, for instance, my family is originally from the Philippines. These plants actually grow out in full sun, and they do well outdoors. So it's interesting how a lot of these indoor tropical plants, and I say indoor loosely because a lot of these plants are definitely not plants that exist indoors. They had to be sourced out somewhere out in the world where they were living out in the wild outside in their natural environment. Now, as far as the ZZ plant, this one is one of the easier plants to take care of because it is definitely low light tolerant, drought tolerant. It is a common plant. They do have the green variety, but they also have like different variegated varieties as well as the dark one, which is called the Raven ZZ by Costa Farms. But this particular one is for $15.98. And when you start to look at some of these plants, as far as easy care, you want to look for the ones that are low light tolerant and drought tolerant. And so you can see over here, we've got a Sansevieria, or what you call a snake plant. And as I spin around over here, I did want to show you some of the seeds that they have available. So you've got a bunch of sunflowers. I grew some of those. And then I want to show you my favorite flower to grow from seed. That would be the zinnia, specifically the candy cane variety, because I really love the variegated flowers that it produces. And then I also want to show you this. This is the rainbow coleus mix. So I will eventually buy this for $2.49 because they have random different colors of coleus plants. You will be seeing a lot of coleus in this video today. And the reason being is coleus, if you didn't know, can actually grow indoors long term as an indoor plant. So a lot of people don't consider coleus plants an indoor plant, but they actually do very well indoors. And you could just see that there are many different types of seeds. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you actually grow plants from seed, what plants you're growing from seed. Do you have a vegetable garden? Because I am actually growing a vegetable garden myself. Very interested in being able to show that journey as well. And then you can see right here, I think this is a string of raindrops. So we also have these succulent type plants. Now these ones are by Element Plants. So you can see at Home Depot, they have smart plants. This one is by Element Plants. Really love the look of that as well. And you can see that Costa Farms has quite a bit of these exotic angel plants. This is the quintessential croton plant. This one is in a 5-inch planter for $8.98. This one is called the gold dust croton. Love the yellow foliage, and with crotons, you either love them or you hate them. I absolutely love them and adore them because they remind me of my home country, which is the Philippines. They can actually go really large, and so I'm just going to keep picking up some of these Costa Farms exotic angel plants. This one is a Janet Craig compacta, $5.98. And you will see right here, we've got a Hydra helix, or the correct way to say it is Hedera helix. This is an English ivy. This is the mini Adam English ivy for $5.98. And if you are doing the Hydra Helix Challenge 2025, let me know in the comment section below. Basically, the challenge is to buy an English ivy, grow it indoors in your home, and see how long you can grow that plant before it actually grows or has spider mites, because English ivy are very notorious for being a spider mite heaven. It is the perfect paradise for that particular pest. And so we actually have the Hedera Helix Challenge. Let me know in the comment section again if you're doing that. I know that there are several plant folies already doing it, and this is the reason why I love this community. You guys just start these different types of challenges, but let's continue to pick up some more of these exotic angel plants by Costa Farms. They range in prices from $5.98, $5.98 and $8.98. Now here's a cool plant find. This is actually a variegated marantha or prayer plant here. This one is only for $5.98. And even though it's not highly variegated, I love the fact that there is variegation. Sometimes you'll get lucky when it comes to Costa Farms exotic angel plants, because you will find some of these really cool plants for a cost-effective price. And that's the thing about shopping at a big box store like Lowe's. I mentioned this in a lot of my plant shopping videos, but sometimes you will find some amazing plant finds. They make perfect shopping hauls. This would be a plant that if I was a little bit more organized with my plant collection, I would actually buy, because I do love the variegated marantha or the prayer plant. This is another beautiful one. And if you look at the leaves, they have a more like, it looks like a feather or maybe some paintbrush strokes. Really like that look. And you know, with Costa Farms, again, they just continue to push out new plants, and we're just going to keep walking around here, and I'm going to show you some more plants. You can see we've got pothos plants, ficus lyrata, and a sea of greenery right here. Check out this beautiful philodendron birkin. Love that white stripes right over here. This one isn't as highly variegated, but this one again is for $15.98 in a self-watering planter. And I would say philodendron Birkin is one of the more common philodendrons you can find. What's interesting is rewind about 5 years ago in about 2020 when this plant was actually uncommon and it was a little bit more pricey. It is an easy to care for plant. If you want to push out more of that white striping, definitely give it a lot of bright indirect light. Light really impacts that particular coloration for it. And then the classic Pachira aquatica right over here, or the money tree plant. This is for $15.98. This is the braided form, and you know, this is the common form. A lot of people will say that this particular plant gives good fortune, good luck. It's really good for that feng shui. And you can see over here, we've got a spathiphyllum or a peace lily. That one is also for only $15.98 in a self-watering planter. So Costa Farms, can we just talk about how Costa Farms just has so many plants to pick from? And when it comes down to it, Lowe's probably has the most Costa Farms plants. This one is a combination planter for $17.98. Exotic Angel Plants by Costa Farms. You can see that this actually has a Manjula pothos, which is a more uncommon pothos, alongside with a croton plant and a parlor palm. So you'll get 3 plants for the price of $17.98. I suppose you could actually take this planter and separate all 3 if you don't want the combination planter. I'll say that the Manjula pothos would be the one that I would be most attracted to. And I did want to say thank you again to Costa Farms, because when I went to PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida, I was the winner of the giveaway for the Manjula pothos mother plant. It's in a huge hanging basket, and I'm just really excited about it. Manjula pothos is my second favorite pothos to grow. It is a slower growing pothos. What I love about it is it has the rounder leaves. In terms of all of the plants I mentioned, I am really a big advocate when it comes to just buying the easy care plants, the quote common plants, the plants that are more underrated and overlooked. I really want to foster a community of plant enthusiasts that really enjoy that type of plant versus going after the rare or variegated plants. For instance, variegated alocasias, which tends to be trending, all of the variegated philodendrons, all of the variegated monsteras, especially the monstera Thai constellation sport variegated mutations, all of that. I like to showcase plants like this bird's nest fern, for instance, for $15.98. It's one of those easy to care for plants as well. And this plant is just a green plant, and there is nothing wrong with green common plants. And you can see we are looking at an aglaonema red Siam. The aglaonema that I love to share because every big box store carries an aglaonema red Siam. This one is by Costa Farms again, $15.98. And this particular Lowe's has a sea of aglaonema red Siams. You'll notice that the leaves have a pink border around it, the pink stems. It's an easy grower. It is a slower growing plant. Most aglaonema are pretty slow growing, but what I like about this plant is it is low light tolerant and it's a little bit more drought tolerant. It is definitely a beginner plant, or more so for anybody that just loves easy care. Who doesn't want a plant that is going to be an easy care plant? I prefer plants that are not going to give me stress, and this plant is not going to give you stress. If anything, this plant is going to give you a lot of joy. It's going to bring you joy. Plants definitely make people happy. Aglaonema make me people happy, and I am going to be very intentional in campaigning for my aglaonemas. I need everybody to use the hashtag popularize aglaonema, because why not? We need to be talking about aglaonemas. We need to get people excited about about aglaonemas. If I am the only plant content creator slash plant influencer, if you want to call me that, that is just gung-ho about aglaonema, so be it. But my thing about it is I like to be that person that goes against the grain. I like to be that one person when they ask me, what is your favorite plant? And I mention aglaonema, and the first response is like this confused, bewildered look. That is really the reaction I wanted to get from most people, because that makes me a little bit more unique. It makes me be a little bit more of a person that doesn't want to follow trends. The trends I want are the trends that I create, and thankfully for a lot of the plant foldies, you guys really support that. So before we get into more of the aglaonemas and indoor plants, we're gonna enter the outdoor section right over here. Excited about showing all of these gorgeous plants that are outdoors. So we're looking at the polka dot plant. So the polka dot plant is actually a plant that most people will grow in a container outdoors. This is also a plant that you can grow indoors. The only thing about polka dot plants is, as beautiful as the pink coloration is, and this one is for only $1.98. It is a more challenging plant, and I think it's because it is a thirsty plant, and it is another plant that doesn't like to be in a lot of light, but you still need to give it bright and direct light. So just finding that happy medium for that plant is going to keep it happy. If you want a really nice, pretty pink, red, even white color, they come in those varieties. You can find it, and you can even see that they almost look like flowers. And you know, as far as like spring is going to be a time where I feel like I can highlight a lot of flowers. My backyard currently has some variegated peach tree blossoms that look like sakura, or what you call cherry blossoms. So I will eventually showcase some of that in some of my plant shopping videos, you know, give you a little inserts of some of the plants and some of my outdoor plants as well. You can see it is also the time of the year where we are going to see a lot of hanging baskets of petunias. And so I'm just going to walk around here and show you what plants they have in the outdoor section. We will go back into the indoor tropical section in just a bit, but I wanted to highlight the spring outdoor plants, the new plants that you can put in your garden as well. And plant foldies, you can see we are looking at a sea of orange coleus plants. I mean, this is just stunning to me. $1.98 for these coleus plants. This one doesn't have nearly as much orange, but for those that really don't like coleus plants, I would say I love to create trends. The trends that I follow are the trends that I create for myself, and hopefully I can get you guys excited about coleus plants, because just like aglaonema, coleus plants are underrated plants. Plants that not a lot of people are really into, but coleus plants grow very fast. They're so easy to propagate. I would even say taking a cutting, it doesn't even need a node. You can literally stick it in soil, and it has a 98% success rate when it comes to coleus plants. Coleus plants do like more bright indirect light, although there are some coleus varieties now that can be in full sun. This particular one right over here, I think it's like a coral type coleus. This one you will need to put in more of a shaded area. In terms of coleus plants though, they are very thirsty plants, and so I was surprised that I would actually be able to grow these plants because I'm the type of person that doesn't water my plants consistently. Now coleus plants do better outdoors in like an outdoor container, although people have actually grown them in you know, their gardens, actually in their landscapes, especially these plants that are in you know, areas that can get full sun. You know, there are some coleus that you call sun coleus, and so this one right here is a specific variety, and I love the fact that they just have a sea of them, and that's the reason why I love shopping at Lowe's, especially when they get a full restock. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you actually like coleus plants And if you've grown them indoors, because they can grow indoors long term, these almost remind me of like the goldfish orange color. Love this one as well. If I were to buy one, I would buy this one specifically because it has really mostly orange coloration. And for $1.98, this plant will actually get very large very quickly because it is a fast grower. I love the fact that you can propagate it and you can actually share it with friends. That's another way to save money on plants, is just through plant propagation. I feel like you can get more out of it, especially if you are able to share it amongst yourselves with other plant foldies. So we are growing a collection of well, actually not a collection, a community of plant foldies. So hopefully we can also get more people excited. And you can see right here, the begonias are coming around. These are more of the floral type begonias. I love the dark foliage on this particular begonia, and you can see we've got more right over here. And you know it's springtime when you can see that there are so many flowering plants right here. Lots of these are considered annuals. And let's take a look at this closer begonia. I love the red blooms, how it complements the dark foliage of that particular begonia leaf. And these are the hanging baskets that are offered at Lowe's. And let's take a look at some more coleus plants right over here. See that the coleus has a wide range of different colors. Look at how beautiful this scarlet red is, this maroon color, and even the edges of the leaves are a little bit serrated and it has like a faint yellow tone about it. You know, coleus, when you think about the way coleus plants look, just how vibrant the colors are, they really do remind me of aglaonema. And I really do think that my aesthetic for certain plants would be the colorful varieties, whether it is a coleus plant, whether it's an aglaonema, or whether it is a croton plant. I've noticed that I really like those flashy, colorful plants. I just think that color in general brings me joy. It makes things vibrant, it makes things energetic, and I just think that plants should make people happy. Plants are, you know, living things that actually make our wellness better. I really feel like, you know, growing plants is really good for your mental health. I know that I've talked about this in a lot of my plant shopping videos, but I do suffer from anxiety at times. I have an OCD type situation where sometimes I fixate on negative thoughts, and it's one of those things where whenever I am focused on plants, whenever I'm looking at the nuances, the beauty of this orange leaf, for instance, and really taking the time to create my daily plant shopping videos, it actually grounds me. It actually gives me a positive, productive routine where not only am I helping myself mentally, you know, really promoting better mental health, but I feel like creating this community of plant foldies is also value added, and hopefully I am bringing you guys joy by just creating this content. And I know that I've been working very diligently about getting these daily plant shopping videos, really showing you what I like. You know, a lot of times we see social media influencers really just cater to what the general public wants. But even if I am, for instance, faceless, if I don't show my face on my YouTube videos, hopefully you get to know me as a person and actually see the personalized touches of my interest in plants, because I don't necessarily want to just keep featuring, you know, variegated monsteras or more of these uncommon anthuriums, you know, the things that are a little bit more trending. And I don't know, maybe I could possibly get more viewership if I followed trends, but at least I'm sharing with you all the things that bring me joy, the plants that I'm interested in, and hopefully that actually brings up a point where people take a second look about some of the plants that may not always get that attention. And you know, whenever I do these shopping videos, I like to give you guys my plant insights, and hopefully you guys will find some value in giving, me giving you guys my personal opinions about plants. Like, we can take a look at this creeping Jenny, for instance. Really like that neon colored plant. Thought about growing this as an indoor plant. This one is for $4.98. I'm curious if anybody's tried to grow this indoors. Leave it in the comment section below. And if you made it this far into the video, watching this video, thank you so much for your viewership. I hope that you have pressed the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And I'm just gonna walk around here and show you some of these things that we have in terms of plants, and also take a look at this dove right here. This dove is living its best life. That's super cute. I actually have quite a bit of birds living in my backyard right now. And I actually want to show you a bunch of these oasis plants right here. These are some succulents and cactus. This one is a Kalanchoe stained glass. I love the pastel pink color of it. I'm actually tempted to buy this succulent. This is for $5.98. And I'm not really versed with cactus or succulents, but this year I want to get into them. And honestly, with me finding that new 100% organic, fast draining soil by Classy Rabbit, I may end up just putting these plants in my soil substrate that I got from Classy Rabbit. I'm definitely going to endorse Classy Rabbit because just using that soil, it's pretty fast draining. So if you haven't already, I will talk about Classy Rabbit soil again. Definitely go to classyrabbit.com, buy yourself that soil. It is priced effectively and it is free shipping. I mean, you can see right over here, I would even buy this succulent and pot it up in the Classy Rabbit soil. I am all about big box store plant shopping videos, big box store shopping, because these are more of the readily available plants and plant supplies you can buy. But when it comes down to me supporting local plant businesses, small businesses, I am all about it. You already know that I love Peta's Planters, for instance. That is a local Dallas plant shop that I support. We actually will be doing more consistent live selling on Peta's Planters Instagram. Be sure to follow Peta's Planters. That is like the headquarters of Cultivation Corner, my plant podcast that I'm part of with Janae Simone and Steven of I Lift Plants. Those two are also really good friends of mine. They also do plant content, so please look them up on YouTube and subscribe to their channels. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I'm just looking at more plants, and I will pick up some more of these hanging baskets. Is another type of like succulent type peperomia for $12.98 by Oasis Plants. Beautiful heart-shaped leaves. I love the variegation. It's definitely got a very rubbery succulent type texture on the leaves, but needless to say, for $12.98 in a 6-inch hanging basket planter. Love the look of this plant. This one is going to need a lot of bright indirect light. It's more of a succulent type plant, but it's one of those plants that I feel like is also underrated. And you can just see in the background, there are several different types of plants. The colorful ones are the grafted cactus. We've got some jade plants over here, and we've got this golden barrel cactus. Look at how spiky this is. Definitely a prickly one for sure. And take a look at this, $12.98, a variegated string of hearts. And I just remember variegated string of hearts was super expensive about 5 years ago. Now you can find them at decent prices, like $12.98. You cannot beat that price. And that's the reason why, shopping at big box stores, you will find some cost-effective plant pricing. If you are looking to manage your finances, if you want to save money on, shopping, shopping, I would say if you're able to go to a big box store, buy yourself a variegated string of hearts for $12.98. I know that that is probably one of the best types of plant pricing you can get. And like I said, in terms of saving money on plants, you really have to compare and contrast plants. Not always will you get the best pricing at a big box, or sometimes even at local nurseries or small businesses, you may find them there. But what a beautiful plant for only $12.98. Now we're going to be looking at Tropic Escape by Costa Farms. So these are all of the value plants that Costa Farm has for their accent container plants that you can do for your outdoor spaces. Although you can grow these indoors. So you can see we've got a Dracaena marginata. We've also got a bunch of these alocasias here. And this one, let's take a look at it. If I can just get this out here, I'm gonna just show you what alocasias is here. These are for $6.98, and I actually lucked out and found me a variegated alocasia for under $7 from the Tropic Escape Collection. So sometimes whenever you go to big box stores, you may end up finding what you call sport variegated plants. I definitely had to buy it. I just don't know this particular plant ID for that alocasia. So plant foldies, if you know the specific ID, please leave that in the comment section below. And then you can see right over here, we have another cordyline Hawaiian tea plant. And I just love the look of this plant. However, if you're going to try to grow this indoors, it is a spider mite magnet. This plant really needs to just be growing outdoors. This does like a lot of bright indirect light, even can take full sun, but you would have to acclimate it. I just wouldn't put it out in full sun right away because these plants are grown in shade nursery places, so you need to make sure that you acclimate the plant. But if you see how beautiful this cordyline plant is, how the sun hits it, it just really illuminates it with all of those maroon colors. This is a specific one right here. That one isn't a bad price at all, and I love the look of this. Now, whenever I went to the Philippines for vacation, these plants were literally growing out in the wild. They were just growing out in full sun, and they were living their best life. And you know, that's the thing about these tropical plants. It is all about finding them in their natural habitat. And so for me, just being able to see all of these plants by Costa Farms, you can see this is another type of alocasia right here. Love the look of this particular alocasia, and this one again is for $6.98. That's a really good price. They also offer this at Walmart. I believe it is $1 less at Walmart. Let me know in the comment section if you know the exact price, and if you know the plant ID for this particular alocasia. I would probably buy this as well. You know, alocasias can be a little bit finicky when you grow them indoors, but hopefully if you grow these outdoors, they can get massive. You can actually grow these in your landscapes out in North Dallas, which is where I'm based at. So if you ever watch my plant shopping videos, the majority of my content is actually featuring a lot of the big box stores that we have at North Dallas. You can see that Costa Farms has really stocked up a lot of these Lowe's, and this isn't even springtime officially yet. That's not until March 20th, but you can see that a lot of the outdoor sections, the outdoor garden sections, are definitely getting filled. And so if you're at this point where you want to buy plants, I would highly suggest doing so, because you are going to get the most freshly grown plants from Costa Farms if you go plant shopping right now. And I do think the value of these plants are cost effective. You know, with all of the new political unrest that some people will say we have currently with all of the tariffs and whatnot, just know that if you go ahead and buy the plants now, you're probably going to get the best plant pricing as compared to maybe waiting a couple of months down the line. Who knows what that's going to look like? But as far as this particular plant, for instance, this is a cordyline kiwi for $6.98. And so I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you these plants. And then before we go into the indoor tropical section again, I did want to show you a section where I pot up some more of the aglaonema I bought at a big box store, specifically Lowe's. These are Costa Farms aglaonemas that I'm actually going to pot up in Classy Rabbit soil. Again, if you haven't heard of Classy Rabbit soil, definitely go to the Classy Rabbit website, classyrabbit.com. They're offering free shipping. They were at PlantCon 2025 giving out samples, and I happen to use some of their soil. What I love about it is the fact that Classy Rabbit is McKinney based, so it is a local plant business, a local business out in North Dallas, and we always want to support our local businesses. So definitely take a look at classyrabbit.com. In a minute, I'm going to show you how I pot up the plants and show you how fast draining it is and just give you some more of my thoughts. But for now, enjoy the beautiful views of these plants by Costa Farms. And plant foldies, you can see that this is my bag of Classy Rabbit organic soil. Keep it chunky, keep it light. It has all 100% natural ingredients for the soil substrate. And I will be potting up this aglaonema pink cyan. I actually bought that as a Costa Farms trending tropical plant. I decided to split it into two. It was actually on clearance for 50% off. That is a video that I actually showed in one of my previous plant shopping videos. But you can see I'm using a terracotta planter that I bought from Walmart. It's the modern terracotta planter. That one was, I believe, for $4.97, and you can see that I am just layering this up with the Classy Rabbit soil. I love the fact that it is very chunky and it is a complete soil. And what I mean by that is you don't need to go add anything else. A lot of people will buy orchid bark. A lot of people will actually mix up a lot of perlite. I know that there's this thing where if you're going to make, quote, an aeroid mix, you would do like 60% perlite and say like the rest of it would just be your conventional potting soil. Well, at Classy Rabbit, they just have all of the ingredients that I really like. I love the fact that they actually use rice hull. That's something that's more commonly used in Asian countries. And if you didn't know, rice hull actually has quite a bit of silica. And actually, whenever you want to prevent plants from like actually browning and crisping on their variegation, silica solution is what people will water their plants. So that already gives it a natural silica boost in the soil. I love the fact that they got microrhizomes, rhizae, or however you pronounce it, where it really helps establish the roots. And you'll see later on as I pot up these plants that they are this soil is super fast draining. I love the fact that, again, it is free shipping on classyrabbit.com. And then you can see that I am potting up this other one right here. This is another aglaonema. This one is an aglaonema frosted ghost. I am excited about that. And like I said, again, you've got to go try out Classy Rabbit. If you call yourself a plant foldy, a super plant foldy, you should definitely try this soil substrate. I know I've been pushing a lot of semi-hydroponic substrates, but I might just be coming back to soil ever since I discovered Classy Rabbit soil. I've noticed that a lot of my aglaonema really establish well, and I think it's because of the natural ingredients. There are no unnatural ingredients added. It is literally from Mother Earth, and I love the fact that this is another soil that is just fast draining, because oftentimes we find soils that are very much like moisture retention. I'm not going to put out what soils, but you will typically find them at big box stores where you have to like add more perlite. This soil, you don't have to add anything. You just literally have to add the plant, put the soil around it, find you a nice pot like this, and basically just pot it up and you are good to go. And the plant is going to actually get all the nutrients it needs. With Classy Rabbit, a lot of these other soil companies will claim that they have soil scientists. I don't really know what that means. The fact that this particular product has a lot of validation in terms of, we know that if it was created by farmers know, soil. They know what works best for their crops. And so I am just excited to really talk about Classy Rabbit. So in my future videos, you will see me plugging in Classy Rabbit. Follow them on Instagram at Classy Rabbit, and also check out classyrabbit.com. So just enjoy me potting this up, and then we're going to go finish this video off by looking at the indoor tropical plants at Lowe's. And I wanted to show you again how fast draining the soil is. So I've got the aglaonema I just potted up in Classy Rabbit soil. You can see that I am drenching it, but look at how fast the water is just going through this soil. It doesn't mean that this soil doesn't hold like moisture. It definitely does, but I just love the fact that it is fast draining, and that's what we really need in terms of a soil. We want something that is chunky, fast draining, natural. And like I said, again, I have tried a lot of soils. I've actually moved away from soil substrates because I didn't find one that was really cost effective for me and really a good value. But ever since discovering Classy Rabbit soil and the fact that I know it is a small business, a local business out in the North Dallas area, specifically McKinney, Texas, really excited to see how this soil works for a lot of our plants. So I will be potting up a lot of my plants in Classy Rabbit soil. Like I said, again, it is fast draining, and you can just see how fast it goes with it. Like, I'm literally trying to drench it. And how many times have you used like specific soils where literally it's taking forever for the water to go drain? This one drains instantly, and I love the fact that I don't really have to add anything to it. It has everything the plant needs to establish itself. I cannot stress how important that is. And when it comes down to like plant products, I do think it's very important to vet it out. And the fact that I've been using this particular soil on all my plants that I got from PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida, it has done a world of good in terms of just the growth of my plant. And so if you're trying to really get some good growth on your plant, try Classy Rabbit. Let me know in the comment section if you end up buying Classy Rabbit soil and how that works for you. I am just watering this with just a little bit of Super Thrive water just to get these plants established. But I do agree that, this is the one-stop soil. This is a complete soil where you don't have to add anything to it. You can see plant foldies. You've seen a lot of my relaxing plant chore videos whenever I pot up my plants. I love to use a neem oil spray that I created. Basically, it is my plant foldy mist, which is basically 2 tablespoons of neem oils, cold pressed neem oil spray, 2 tablespoons of rubbing alcohol, 2 tablespoons of hydrogen peroxide, a drop of dish Dawn soap, and just water. Shake it in a spray bottle. And I just love spraying the tops of the leaves, the bottoms of the leaves, the petioles, the stems, to just make sure I don't really have any pests. It'll get rid of the pests, and it will also give it a natural leaf shine. I do like using Weed the Wild neem oil spray, but if I'm trying to be a little bit more cost effective and save money, this is an all-in-one product that I have created myself to really get rid of any potential plant pests like spider mites, mealybugs, and whatnot. So you can see again right here, plant foldies, we've got Classy Rabbit, and these are all the aglaonema I potted up. So I've split 2 aglaonema up. So I have 2 plants for the price of 1. This is a gorgeous aglaonema frosted goes, and you can see that neem oil spray really does give a nice shine to it. Look at how chunky the soil is. And again, shop classyrabbit.com. Plant foldies, you can see that we're back in the indoor tropical section. So I'm just going to really feature a lot of just the live trends and urban jungle plants. You can see right over here at the very bottom, we have a bunch of beautiful live trends design plants. This is a philodendron moonlight. I mean, look at how beautiful that yellow is. Like, can we get a button press for this philodendron moonlight right here? With this neon colored plant, you have to give it a lot of bright indirect light for it to hold its coloration, but this is a statement piece plant. It's another plant that is commonly found and often overlooked as well, but I would say easy care for plant. And then this is another Anthurium super bomb right over here. Now these ones have some beautiful live trends design planters. You already know I love my modern planters, the very simplistic ones, very minimalistic ones. And so as far as live trends design plants, definitely seasonally relevant. You can see that they've got that pastel pink. It's got that Easter vibe about it, and I really love the look of this shape of this particular planter. This is in a 6-inch planter for $24.98, and I'm just going to keep picking up some more of these plants and showing you what they have available. Plant foldies. I'm just going to pick up all of these hanging ceramic planters by Live Trends Designs. Now these ones are all for $16.98. So this one right here that we're looking at is a philodendron heteroraceum, just the green form. Sometimes they call it the philodendron cordatum. I don't really know if it's a different type of philodendron, so I would love for anybody that is an expert for those differentiating those philodendron to leave that in the comment section below, and just let me know what your thoughts are in terms of the plants that we're finding at these big box stores. You can see that this has that minty pastel green color for that ceramic planter. This is a red marantha, and like I said again, the thought process that Live Trends Design really has for their planters, I really just love the meticulous thought process that they have, because you can clearly see that they're merging style with just healthy looking plants. I would love to see more aglaonema varieties coming from Costa Farms as well, but also Live Trends Design. I would just give that feedback that if you are a major like nursery grower and you're providing at big box stores, create a trend. And I would say the fastest way to create a trend is to find some of the more colorful aglaonemas. I mean, can you imagine seeing a colorful aglaonema, like maybe an aglaonema Lotus Delight or an aglaonema Crown of Siam in a very modern looking Live Trends design? But for now, I do have to give Live Trends Design credit for the fact that they do have a lot of these easy to care for plants. Like this one right here is a philodendron hederaceum. Really love the look of that. And again, as far as like the coloration of the philodendron hederaceum, you want to make sure that you're providing it with a lot of bright indirect light. This one again is for $16.98. That's a pretty good value considering you are getting a stylish plant, a planter. Looking at some of these other plants that Live Trends Design has, you can see this is an Alocasia cuprea. Look at how pretty this planter is. I love the fact that they've got the little flowers etched in with the glaze. Now, I'm not typically a fan of like shiny glazes, but this one works for me. This one is definitely seasonally relevant for the spring season, but also just the Easter season. Alocasia cuprea, $14.98. Now, I will say if you want an Alocasia cuprea for a little bit less, you can go to Home Depot and buy the Nature's Way one for $7.98. And then I'm going to pick up all of these 6-inch planters by Live Trends Design. This is an Alocasia amazonica for $24.98. And like I said, again, this particular Alocasia is a spider magnet. And I'm always curious why certain plants are a little bit more spider mite prone. I wouldn't really recommend adding this plant to my collection just because I don't always have the time for pest preventatives. But needless to say, it's a beautiful plant. I love the planter. And all of these 6-inch planters, for instance, is like Ficus elastica burgundy. It is really a showstopper as well because of the simplicity of it, the dark foliage, and as far as like Live Trends Designs, I cannot stress to you how modern looking, how niche, how like slick the planters are. And it's really because that is is the look that Live Trends Design has. If you're looking for more of like a boho type look, you definitely want to go with urban jungle plants. But like I said, again, look at this philodendron red imperial. Love that dark foliage plant. And I'm just going to keep picking up some of these 6-inch planters. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, which ones you like, which ones you've collected, which ones you would buy, and just give me some more plant insights. You already know I love the engagement when it comes to the plant foldie community, and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this new plant shopping video content. I am gonna attempt to film a lot of big box store plant shopping videos since I will be off this weekend, thankfully off this weekend. In terms of my job, it is very stressful. It's very hectic. It is a time where sometimes I kind of reflect on whether I could do, plant content, full time, but then I realized that the career I've been with for about 16 years has been really stable. I'm able to afford some of these plants that I wouldn't necessarily do if I didn't have that stable income. So, it's one of those things where I find my plant shopping videos, my YouTube channel, my social media as more of a passive income. So I did want to point out, if anybody did want to provide what they call a super sticker, which is basically a monetary tip for a content creator, that is available. All you have to do is look at the bottom right hand corner for the $sign, and you can drop a monetary tip if you choose to. And again, I will be opening up my YouTube membership program as well as my Patreon page, so stay tuned for that. But as I walk around and pretty much conclude this video, you'll see that a lot of the Lowe's locations are really getting more plants. This one hasn't really gotten a restock in the indoors section, but at least the outdoor section is getting super full. And I did want to just keep showing you these aglaonema red siams. You already know that I have to do a feature of this. I have to talk about it. I just feel like repetition is key. I know that I've been told that I'm very repetitious about some of the things I talk about in my plant shopping videos, but that's just me. I am a creature of habit. I am somebody that believes in repetition, because repetition, you might get your point across. And my point is, you need an aglaonema red siam for $15.98. It's an easy to care for plant. And I am hoping that everybody enjoyed today's video. As always, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video if you haven't already. I work super hard to get you this daily plant content. All I ask is for you to hit the like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at GrowFold with all the notification bell on. You definitely want to check once you press subscribe to switch it to all notifications. This is Richie at GrowFold. I will have a brand new video for you the next day. Stay tuned for that, and definitely leave me some comments in the meantime. Bye.